I can turn it on anytime, Pat.
Come on,
no problem.
All right, little Shark Boy there to start off the show. Welcome back, everyone, to Total Nonstop Impact. The whole crew is here. We got myself, J-Bone. We've got our own knockout, Alisha, joining us. And we got Mr. Front Row, Bill. As you can clearly, well, maybe not so clearly see him. You just did a moment ago.
I see on the Hall cover, Rhino.
On the cover of the video. Yes, Hall of Famer Rhino. We're gonna get into all sorts of TNA stuff, related news outside of the company. Little NXT. We'll dive into that, and I want to talk to Bill about the vibe there. Alisha, were you there or weren't you there?
Where?
At the NXT show.
No, I didn't.
You didn't go. Okay.
I don't do that shit.
I had to ask.
I was at the show the weekend prior.
Yes. Battleground
Championship.
Oh, that
from the same building.
Yeah.
I heard about that. That's a newer indie company, right?
I am not so sure on the history, but they were in a fun show. It went long. It's been a while since I've been at a show till midnight.
Oh, the old long indie show at the arena. You gotta love it.
It is. Wow. Nice. All right. Gosh. Where do we start first? First of all, let's start out by saying this. I said this at the top of the live reaction, and I hate saying stuff like this, but I know I'm gonna have a bigger audience here. So all I'm going to say really quickly is, look, I know there's a lot of stuff going on. Emotions are high in the nation right now. So look, we're here for TNA. We're here for fun. We're not here for controversy. We're not here for political stuff. So please keep that stuff to your heart. This isn't the place for it. There's plenty of other places if you want to voice your opinion on stuff that's going on in the planet. It's out there. So let's just keep everything friendly like it usually is in here, and we'll share our opinions on all things TNA tonight. So
just be cool, man.
That's just be cool. Yeah, just
plus
like
you already threw all your support behind Ali in his campaign.
Right? Yeah, behind Ali.
You see what that got you, J-Bone.
What? Yeah, look, I try to keep things cool, and he shows up on the show. Gosh, they said thanks a lot, TNA. No, but if you really, we'll get some housekeeping stuff out of the way first. If you really want to help someone who's in need, and there's a lot of stuff going on out there, but someone that we've really backed recently is friend of the show. I like to say friend of the show, Chris Bay, who was injured recently at TNA tapings after Bound for Glory. This is the shirt that you can purchase through Pro Wrestling Tees. And it's the, we heart Bay. We love Bay with the two sweets. Great looking shirt. I'm probably going to pick this up at some time soon. There's also other ways you can help support in the description of the video again. And I'm going to keep it in there for several weeks to come. Is the GoFundMe link. And if you can't donate, share the link. Share it on your socials. Everyone's on social media all the time. Share it on your socials, here and there. There's also something I saw during the show tonight that Cardona and Brian Myers are going to have a bendy guy of Chris Bay, and all the proceeds from that, are going to go straight to Chris Bay, which is great. Also advertised was a Whatnot stream tomorrow afternoon. You can get all the details, I believe, at TNA Wrestling.com. And I'm sure there's going to be other things happening coming up that is going to be related to raising money for Chris Bay and his future, because it's indefinite. The next surgery is not, you break an arm, you break a wrist, you break a leg, you can kind of timetable your return. This has no timetable return. It's day by day, folks, day by day.
It's beyond the ring.
It is. It's exactly just like the classic movie title or documentary title says, Beyond the Ring. Bill, have you heard of any other ways out there for Chris Bay? I know that's most of them, but
that's most of the big ones out there. I know there are obviously a lot of people doing a lot of things. I know I mentioned during your live reaction, we're talking about doing some kind of stream ourselves at some point. Right. It might be a review, maybe for one of the shows. It might go into maybe we'll do a reaction / review of Turning Point at the end of the month and make that maybe a full stream to donate all proceeds to Chris Bay. That might be a good way to do it. It's around the holidays, the Thanksgiving week, so maybe more people would be around. So maybe we'll aim for that. And then I personally myself, obviously I'll be in North Carolina this weekend for the TNA tapings. So I do have my normal front row seat on the aisle at MLW in Chicago, which was announced months ago for the Lucha Apocalypto show, which I will not be attending, but definitely I'm putting it out there. Anyone that contributes to Chris Bay, I was going to do almost maybe like a silent auction. Whoever bids the highest and that can make a Chicago show on Saturday, the ticket's yours. But even if you're just donate at all for this Saturday, so even if you've already donated, if you want to donate, just any contribution to Chris Bay, let us know at TNI, and hey, whoever lets us know and who donates, the ticket's yours. So a night of good wrestling action in Chicago, some lucha action, and support Chris Bay. That's my donation for now, and obviously we'll continue to do so as much as we can here at TNI.
And just remind me, Bill, we'll mention that once again at the end of the show. Okay,
sounds good.
Yeah, because I know people are still coming into the show right now. So, but yeah, that's always a good show. I haven't watched them recently, but MLW always puts on good stuff. Yeah, like here, look regarding next stuff. Geez, Mayor Neeson says Big E hasn't been back since he broke his neck March of 22. He does announcing, but man,
yeah, like right now you're just wishing for the best health going forward. Like wrestling really is on the back burner right now. And I didn't know what, since I just said wrestling's on the back burner, another thing, I know we talked about it before, go support his music. Obviously, yes. Spotify, things like that. Download his tunes on iTunes and all, because obviously he's getting pretty much all, if not most of those proceeds. So definitely support him in those ways as well.
Yeah, SoundCloud, whatever. Yeah, his music's out there. Just look it up. Yeah. So, and yes, like Antonio says, smash that like button, smash that sub button here, ring that bell for notifications so that you know when we go live. And real quickly, we want to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. That link is in the description as well. Excuse me. Manscaped.com. Get 20% off and free shipping. Use code TNI for all your trimming needs, above and below the waist. So I know I gotta hit them up soon for some stuff. Just saying. All right. Well, shall we jump into some news, guys?
Oh, yes. Well, before we jump into some news, got to
Okay.
give a shout out before we started to Frickin' Punk here with the super sticker, the $2 super sticker. Much
Thank
appreciated, Frickin' Punk.
Yes.
Hey, Team Tony D and Team Cardona. So, what team are you on?
Now, Tony D, what's...
Well, Tony D from NXT, I think he's maybe making a comment to our cover on the channel tonight, because Tony D was Nunzio's opponent, otherwise known as Little Guido.
Right. Tony D'Angelo? Is that
Tony
it?
D'Angelo, yeah.
Yes. So, all right. Yeah, and Team Cardona. There was some news about him recently.
Well, before you say that, should we hit the jingle before you say news again? And it's like Beetlejuice. You keep saying news, it's gonna get the song going.
Let's do
it.
it.
Gotta have a little jingle.
That's why we're trying to get now.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, the exclusive ponderings of the most professional podcaster in podcasting,
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
J-Bone's news. All right. I heard, now this is kind of WWE related too, but I heard something about, and I'm hoping, Bill, that you can fill in the rest of this, because I heard something in the chat about Cardona going back to the WWE and something related to this WWE ID thing. Have you heard anything about this?
Not related to Cardona. It wouldn't really make sense unless they're doing something else with Cardona, because the whole WWE ID thing is to identify and then kind of nurture talents on the indie scene to eventually maybe progress towards NXT, the Performance Center, NXT, then into the obviously main roster. And I know they announced a bunch of signings today. I believe the first one is someone I've been a fan of for a while, only been in the industry a couple of years. I think 2022 debut, and that's someone that we've seen in MLW a lot, speaking of earlier, and that's that Zeta Steel coming out of CZW, actually. But a lot of territories, well, all around. I think she just did a tour of Japan. But that was someone kind of on my radar as maybe a future knockout. It feels like I've seen a few of them the last couple of years, but I remember Mariah May seeing her at the 2300 Arena during her first U.S. tour, being like, someone's got something there. But you snooze, you lose on those 22-year-old talents. So you got to get them while you can. You got to bring them in. So especially right now in the knockouts division, we know is kind of going through some changes. So that's something obviously Gail and the crew's got to be on because there's a lot of competition right now. But hopefully, I know we talked about before, maybe the NXT kind of relationship can offset that, as we'll talk about someone pretty much ending their run tonight in from NXT to TNA.
Oh, okay. But yeah, and there's some other names involved in that. Now, I'm not real familiar with them, but congrats to them joining up with the WWE ID as well. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I thought I heard something about Matt Cardona doing something, but we'll see. We'll see what his future lies. But for now, he's
indie wrestling.
For now, he's still this is true. That's why I thought maybe they were going to pick him to do something like like coach it or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
But anyways, but yeah. This is the next thing I wanted to bring up before I forgot about it, because I'm using about 3 brain cells tonight. I want to say congrats to Mickie James. Just found out about this right before we went live. Goldie, I found this out through Goldie Knows. If you know Goldie Knows, you know Goldie. Goldie Locks, former NWA TNA backstage announcer.
J-Bone Downey Jr.
We'll leave that one alone. Oh, it's warm in here. Anyways,
If you have small children, please ask them to leave the room right now.
Oh, folks, if you saw that interview, you know. We had a lot of fun with Goldie, and she made me blush about as red as this red right here. So, anyways, the news is Mickie James has collaborated with Goldilocks and her band for the single I Didn't Know. Now, if you go to the socials, you can see a small clip of it. You hear a small, portion of it. And
well, does it sound a little anything like this?
Hardcore country.
Well, it's heavy. It's rocking.
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy stuff. And
Is the Earth's gravitational pull in trouble?
Are they singing death metal?
No. It's just
heavy.
it's
Okay.
heavy. It's heavy for what we've heard Mickie James,
Right.
sing before. And you can pre-see there. They shared out a link. You can pre-save it on Spotify, Apple Music, and more, Amazon. And the picture is, oh my goodness, Mickie James.
Rooney?
I don't know if I can.
Is it a still image, or is it risque?
It's a little risque. It's not that risque, but it's
It wasn't Rob Van Dam in the hot tub risque. That's the only
you know what? We'll just
with our Twitch audience.
So if you watch the video that they play, you know what I'm talking about. But I'll share the little screen of Rooney here. Hang on a second. Share screen. You're not going to see it real good, but when you go to the link, here's a typical thing where you're going to save a single, and the picture at the top is the band, the Goldilocks band right here. I Didn't Know. Choose your preferred music service. Well, the picture at the top of the picture here, even though it's small, is Mickie James and Goldie singing together. They are drenched from head to toe, singing together. So it's
like the old TNA intros, right?
Yeah,
the rain
right.
Coming down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, soaked in rain and looking mean and whatever, and they're rocking out. So yeah, there it is.
Jay,
So
this is what you were worried about in today's society? Come on.
yeah, well, we try to. Ooh, Courtney.
Did you have issues with Bon Jovi's seminal album as well?
Yeah. Well, you never know what YouTube's going to look at and go, oh, you can't show that.
Enough. You can't show blood. You know that.
Right.
You can't say naughty words too much.
Canceled. Yep.
Can't play music.
Can't fart. When's
that stop you, J-Bone?
Thank God for the mute button. Anyways, but yeah, go pre-save it. It's rocking stuff. You can support a friend of the show, Goldie.
Definitely a friend of the show.
And shush, Bill. And Mickie James.
Do I dare say that interview was like an hour? Is my memory
It was. It was like an hour and a half. It was great, though.
It was a long-form interview.
We had a lot of fun. Yeah.
We need another long-form interview.
I think I finally stopped shaking by the end of it. Calm my nerves down.
You still got a little bit of a twinge from it, I think. It never went away.
It did. I was shook. shooketh.
You were shooketh, Goldie style.
Whew. Good thing my wife is sleeping. Anyways.
How did we never get a soundbite out of that interview that we have in the bank here? That's just missed opportunity.
It is. It is. It would have to be something on the line of this.
Oh, baby!
There you go. Little Heath. And I don't think we gave Heath his due because he did get mentioned. Because speaking of this guy right next to me, Hall of Famer Rhino, yes. I did like to shout out, obviously, Heath during his speech.
Oh, he did. He did. And that was great because he really became one of his closest friends. That was good. That was good stuff. Good speech. So, but that's not the only time we saw the Hall of Famer this week. Bill, let's talk a little about what went down in NXT. We'll talk about it just a couple. We're not going to do a full review of NXT, but there was definitely a TNA presence in the ECW zone, if you will.
Yeah, so yes, the fella you have right there made his appearance, obviously, at the 2300 Arena NXT. So if you saw any of the advertising or watched the show, they kind of did the old ECW theme with a mix of ECW original footage and the current NXT roster members. So there was a theme from Dawn Marie ref in the old opening hardcore match to Francine at ringside during the main event. But Rob Van Dam making an appearance ringside to help out in a match that saw him helping, not really, just making sure nothing happened after he was assaulted by a former rascal, who was also referenced tonight on our show in the Return to the Treehouse, and not a, let's just say, a throwback to the old Treehouse, because we had a much more sedated Treehouse the last time around. This was back to they went all in to that 70s show Treehouse Return. Yeah. But so we saw that, and then when we had, and you didn't see this on TV because I think it was during a commercial break, but when the GM of NXT came out, Ava, along with someone we saw in TNA previously with the relationship, Stevie, and we have not seen, but we know him from the past, old Robbie E from the Bromans. Now I believe he's Robert Stone, but big Robbie E chance before the commercial break was over. So, nice. Of course, what's he do? He has to go the easy target and bring up New York and sports teams to get some heat. But then he starts talking a lot of smack, and who appears out of nowhere? Because it's the old ECW. They made it in vogue. Lights go out. Somebody shows up. And it was the last real ECW champion, the War Machine Rhino, who I always like to say, who's the man? It's Rhino. He's the man.
Who's the man?
And he came out and gave him a gore. So
off.
There you go.
It's the only thing I had Rhino.
Well, the great Monty Brown one that someone got rid of. I can't. It's just the War Machine Rhino. Like that's not that. That's an all-time bite. I don't know how that ever got lost.
Blame
the
sound guy.
Blame the sound guy. Whoever the sound guy is.
I thought it was still in there.
No, that's the Pounce period.
Oh.
The War Machine Rhino has been gone a long time.
Oh, that
gone on like 2 years. But that was maybe our best clip.
War Machine Rhino.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Executive decisions.
Yeah, kept the Pounce, got rid of that one.
Yeah. I'm assuming that guy hit the skids at this point. We haven't probably seen him in a couple of years.
Could be. Could be. So Rhino did that. Jordynne Grace was in the main event, correct?
Correct.
With the
on the winning team, but there was some how the match ended between her and one of her teammates is probably going to develop into a feud. Now, will that be in NXT or here in TNA? So I stay tuned for that because there's definitely going to be some fallout from that.
Okay. I gotta see. I've heard nothing but positive about that match. I saw a clip from it. Everyone looked great
crowd, and just I don't know if they put it out on their socials. I know they were videoing some stuff before the fans went into the arena, but like there was obviously a lot. It was more of an E crowd than a lot of times in that building. Although a lot of the regulars were there, which was good to see because I thought there'd be less. But there's obviously a lot of different WWE chants, some from the NXT people. But what chant happened the most and got the people most excited? It was singing Joe Hendry's theme song multiple times.
Nice.
The most over guy in the crowd is a guy that doesn't work for WWE or NXT and was not there.
Unbelievable.
So I thought maybe because of the other TNA presence, there may have been an appearance by Joe Hendry.
Okay.
But it was not. It was not to be.
So it's just background music for in between stuff or whatever?
Oh, no. This was just the fans doing it themselves.
Oh, okay. Wow. That now you know the guy is over if the fans are just cheering it for shits and giggles. Wow.
All about Joe. Like he's still very over. So like once again, I know that's why a lot of people have been like, well, how didn't you put the title on him? Which obviously will happen, but I'm thinking there's got to be more with obviously with Joe in NXT as well. It feels like that's gonna hit there at some point.
Yeah.
And Critical Sting's talking about there was someone with a Hendry head, but that got it going again at one point, but it already was happening before he got there. And that's actually another guy that you see at a lot of TNA shows with that same head. That wasn't just like so TNA people were there. There was a TNA chant while Jordynne was in the main event.
Nice.
So kudos to the crowd going with the, and obviously we can't forget because we saw them. We thought we were going to get a push from them last year. The new FBI with Little Guido, obviously Nunzio during his ECW WWE era, who obviously he had the title shot against Tony D, which you have as the cover.
Yes. Talk about that moment in that match, Bill, because that entrance. Now that was Tony was that an open challenge from Tony D'Angelo for the?
It was there was a scheduled thing, and like last week, I guess on NXT there was a phone call, and you could hear a voice. And now, obviously, those that know, and obviously I'm very familiar with Nunzio or Guido's voice, so I knew that's who he was talking to. So that's why I came FBI ready for the show. But early in the show, they were doing some segments, and they were kind of getting into it. And the match was made earlier in the night, and it's like, hey, I'm going to challenge for your title because there was family issues. Right. So the FBI versus obviously Tony D's family. So then obviously, we got both Nunzio and Tony Mama Luke coming out. So
Mama Luke doing more of a managerial. I guess he's retired. I guess.
Yeah, he's not in ring anymore. But no, obviously always good. Obviously you've seen Guido Nunzio over now in TNA, MLW, and NXT over really the last 2 years. So like kudos to that guy. Like in great shape after all these years. Still looks like he did in early ECW. But at this point, I think he's so familiar with seeing me. It's like, and I'm always there to promote, obviously, his antics. Which is funny as he leaves, as he walks out. He's like, He's like, yeah, I didn't win again. he's like Tommy Dreamer. He never wins, the poor guy. But it's I gotta give him his greeting. It's the expectation. It is sign of respect, J-Bone.
It is. Yeah. So he saw you, he saw your shirt, he leaned into you, gave you the double smooch, and then as the camera pans and your face, you just beamed after he did that. And then as the camera pans away, you see Tony Mamaluke lead in. Did he give you the double smooch too?
Oh yeah, Tony's it's all family, J-Bone.
That's amazing.
I felt like going to Olive Garden after this.
Because you're family.
Because you're family.
That is great. Oh, man. So, yeah, I saw that. I didn't see the whole show, but I saw that clip. And what was the I got to go back to the TNI chat here for our Facebook. What? Oh, hello. Oreo's making an Oreo presence. Excited. Yes. So Kyle, straight out of Witness Protection, puts in our chat. He says, Nunzio kissing Bill wasn't on my 2024 bingo card. So yeah. I don't think that was on any of us.
The first time that may have happened, Alisha may have been there.
When? Oh.
The first, because I think that may have been in White Plains, New York. The first time he did that, like in recent memory, before it's happened at a few shows now.
That was the 1000th episode, right?
I think it was the 1000th episode. Yeah, I think that may have been the first time that happened.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's a riot. That's
the bell of the fucking ball, Bill.
God, it's almost like you're part of the Goodfellas.
And if you look close, J-Bone, because I had my crew, my 2300 arena crew with me. Yeah. Because you'll see Dave in the background. And then his son, Ian, who's right next to me.
Right.
And then Hakeem, who's next to Dave, who's kind of like that. That's our crew down at the arena these days. Although obviously I know a lot of people down there, so always good to see everybody. That's kind of our
how's Dave doing?
Running crew.
I haven't talked to Dave in a while. How's he doing?
Doing good. Had a good time last night. I already talked to him at lunch, where still basking in the glow, and his son's a huge NXT fan, so like that's his favorite. Like that's his favorite promotion right now. So he's all NXT'd up. So he had a great time.
Good to see. Well, next time you talk to him, tell him we all say hi and hope he's doing well and all that. So yeah, some great moments for TNA related stuff on NXT in the ECW arena. What an event! That's awesome that you got to have that experience. Amazing. Now I want to talk. You're right. There you go. I want to talk about something real quick. Little on the sad side. I just got some news right before we went live too. Former TNA tag team champion, one half of the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson, just had surgery for a torn rotator cuff and partially torn labrum. That article, if you want to read it, is in WrestleZone, and apparently he talks about this on the latest because they recently brought back the Talking Shop podcast. You can catch that on Spotify and other places, but he talks about the surgery and stuff that wouldn't see him back in WWE programming until after WrestleMania 41. So he's going to be out for a while. So bummer to see that. No NXT appearances. I don't know if that means they're going to do something with Luke Gallows. I'd love to see them do something. Gosh, he's a monster. He's a great performer. Great performer in the ring. So we'll see. But quick healing going out. Best wishes, thoughts, prayers going out for Carl Anderson as well. So, you got anything else, Bill? You got a big weekend coming up here.
Well, before that, we gotta give a little shout out to the good brother.
It smells like beer, sweat, self tanner, and baby oil, brother.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. Well, we have not mentioned it, and I did see it mentioned in the chat. I did see it earlier today. So let me give a shout out to who posted it. It was early, but there it is, Antonio Baker. Oh no, wait, first it was Eric Isaac, but both of them said it. Okay. Congrats to Killer Kelly and Myron Reed on their new baby girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I was just saying during the live reaction, I was like, man, they got to get Myron Reed back. They got to fill that hole.
The other rascal.
Yes, exactly. But
rascal.
May take a bit. We'll see. Obviously, they're busy being new parents. Got to respect that. Got to love that. So, congrats to them. So. Courtney's all excited here. I think she's a little confused. She's like, Luke Gallows single? What? No, I don't know if he's single, but we're talking about maybe a singles competition for Luke Gallows. Courtney, settle down, Courtney. So I didn't know he was your type, Courtney. So all right.
Well, I liked the Luke Gallows when he was having kind of the monster run in TNA. Like they should do the same, like where he was going just against big dudes. Like it was him versus Joe Doring. It was him versus let's get the two big guys going against each other.
Didn't those guys both have a match where they put each other through their stage, or was that PCO?
They did go both went through a stage. I think a similar may have happened later with PCO as well. But something similar. But that was like the first one. Like there were some bangers in that in those runs.
So yeah,
yes, and there was a match, the main event announced for the WrestleCade show, the next Impact Plus TNA Plus special.
Yes, it is official. The TNA World Championship will be on the line. Nick Nemeth will defend.
And I called this last week due to the results of that tag match.
Yes.
You got a number one contender here.
Yes. Eddie Edwards. Almost, you say, like out of nowhere, Look at that system rising from the Phoenix from this guy himself and from someone who was in the main event. We'll get to that a little later. I don't want to jump on that now. Well, we're going to save that for the last, because I know Bill's going to probably jump out of his seat and break his background and everything for that one. If I know Bill. Maybe Alisha too. Maybe. I don't know. But I know, Bill's pretty big Moose fan. Anyways.
In my ass.
Jiminy Christmas. Sorry, Courtney. Your boyfriend is Nick Nemeth. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry.
She's all about the Nick.
She is.
The wanted man.
Oh my God. Zip. All right. I think that's pretty much it for news. I can't think of anything else.
Well, it is because now that I'm recalling here, J-Bone. I think that's and I saw Sting here make a comment, and we do got it before we move on to the show. The match that we're talking about is where Gallows got a cut in his scrotimus. I can't even say it. I got to get the guy to say it. who's the master of such a
In the scrotissimus region.
It's one of my favorite bites.
Oh, I know it is, J-Bone.
Dude, it's
rare you get the option for it.
There was a clip that was played like about halfway through the show, and it was one of those like exclusive ones, the stuff that was on the TNA website or on the socials because it wasn't on the show. And it was that brewing fight between the Nemeths and Joe Hendry after last week's episode. And it's funny because usually Santino's in character all the time. You know, he's got that accent. He's Santino, you know. He's messing up names, making up stuff, you know. He was so mad. He was so heated because of this fight that was brewing between the Nemeths and Joe Hendry. They played it during the show today. Santino lost his accent.
Come on.
Oh my God. Kind of like when Kofi Kingston lost his, and they were like, hey, wait a minute.
Two more small pieces of news, J-Bone. One is that tomorrow night, after the tapings in Fayetteville, North Carolina, obviously North Carolina, home of the Hardys, if you were thinking of coming to the show, or if you're in the region and looking for maybe another reason, Jeff Hardy will be performing a concert after the show. So if you want to also see some wrestling, obviously, with the wrestling ticket, get to hang out after the show for a Jeff Hardy concert. So definitely tune into that. And my guess is they might show that footage on the app in the end. But I also wanted to give a shout out to, well, you know, one of my favorites. I've been singing his praises since he's been, and there you go. Total Nonstop, Abstract Ovation with Jeff Hardy.
Ovation. I can't even, man. That's a Jeff Hardy
tongue twister
right there. Yes.
So very cool on that. But the other one is one of my favorites I've been talking about a lot lately. That AJ Francis of First Class.
Right.
He's going to be doing his 8th annual canned food drive with the University of Maryland Terps on November 23rd. So if you're in the area for there, definitely support a good cause there. He may not seem like a good guy all the time on Impact, but definitely a good guy out there in the world.
Right.
AJ Francis.
There we go. He is. And if anybody's going to round up stuff for like a charity event, he's got the connections. He really does. Between wrestling, football,
music,
celebrity, music, whatever. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, good on him.
Hey, he's a champion.
He
does it all.
You know, when they first announced that, I'm like, who is this guy? What's going on? It's you know, I'm like, come on, is that really something we want to brag about? But it's I have come to be a very big fan of his as Bill, and I'm guessing most of our crew, and I'm guessing.
Well, we got to do it, J-Bone. Money.
See, I'm old school. I keep wanting to do the Crime Time one. Money. Yeah. Money.
Or you can just do this.
We came here for a lot of money.
There we go. Thank you, Carl. Good stuff. All right.
Before we transition out here, a name I don't normally see, but Frank here asking, do you think we will ever see a TNA NXT co-promoted pay-per-view? Since we were talking about, obviously, NXT earlier, and there is the relationship. Could they do a show? Like, obviously, we see I think that's a possibility. I don't think that's an impossibility.
Yeah.
they'd have to build up to it a little bit more. Like I don't see it there right now.
Yeah.
But could that happen at some point next year? Maybe. I think you might see more of the couple matches on a show type thing. I don't know if you'd get a full back and forth, but that would be something interesting to see. I'd have interest in that.
I would think that it would be surrounded by like a bigger event, like the perfect place to do it. You want to put a lot of eyes on something and really give it some traction. Put it on, have it be the NXT pay-per-view tied to WrestleMania next year. I think that would be
instead
amazing.
of TakeOver?
Yeah.
Because they always do TakeOver, right?
Well, TakeOver's been kind of all over the place, hasn't it? Okay. Or has that one always been?
I associate it with WrestleMania week, but I may be wrong. I'm not going to act like the expert on this because they're doing a lot more, obviously, NXT specials now than they used to.
Right.
A lot of them are obviously the old WCW names.
Right. Yeah. They're bringing back a lot of, WCW.
Or there it is. Stand and Deliver. That's what they did. See?
Oh, there we go. Thank you, Mayor. But yeah, I think that'd be great. Tie it to something big, really give it some traction, put a lot of eyes on it. That'd be, I think, honestly, the best place you could do it. And that maybe could, considering we're this year's quickly coming to an end, that'd be the perfect time to wrap up a chapter between NXT and WW or NXT and TNA. You know what I mean? That'd be a perfect culmination to do it, and then take a little break and then start something up again a couple months later,
But I think that's the thing. I don't think they're in any. I think the ongoing idea is to give Performance Center, lower card, the mid card NXT people more of an avenue to grow. So I don't think they want to stop that anytime soon. But I think you're right. I think it would kind of be like a build up. And who knows? Maybe it could be with a big Joe Hendry angle, or if it is a Jordynne Grace transition over to there. Like maybe they kind of go more all in and something like that. So something to stay tuned for. Like I said, I don't think it's like out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's in the near future.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be a lot of fun. They've already done some amazing matches, like kind of like out of nowhere, like Obafemi versus Hammerstone. I think that's almost like a dream match out of nowhere. If you really give it some time, to breathe, I'd love to see them bring that one back. So, but anyways, what do you say? Let's talk about tonight's show.
Oh yeah,
we're only almost
number
7,
minutes, baby.
We're only almost 50 minutes into the show. Certainly one of our longer news segments, but there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot happening. So, all right. But yeah, November 7th, 2024, starting off hot here. We got Masha and Jordynne Grace versus Tasha Steelz and the System's Lish in a neck brace, Bill. Performing in a neck brace. Is she
talent?
Is she well, yes, she's very talented. But and it's it's throwbacks to like classic Bobby the Brain Heenan stuff. When he'd get tossed around, he'd be wearing his neck brace and stuff. Is she cleared or not cleared, Bill? What's going on? What do you think?
Well, the commission, they wouldn't let her in the ring if she wasn't cleared. Can't question the commission.
My goodness, excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna question it.
Your question?
I'm absolutely gonna question this because this is as soon as she gets in the ring, and I said this at the top of the match, when Jordynne Grace put her grabbed her wrist and then like twisted it in like a, you know, kind of like a give up thing, you know, like I guess you call it a submission hold, or it's like a power move, you know, when you grab the hands and twist them. And she only had one of them, and then she's down on her knees going, oh, my neck. I said this in the live reaction. I'm like, she's tapping out. She may not be physically tapping out, but that's tapping out. That means she can't continue. That match should have ended right there, Bill.
Oh, come on.
Controversy. What's up with this? I think that ref was bought. I think the ref was bought, Bill.
Nah, you can't question the official. We're a show here about officials. The TNI show supports the Zebras.
Oh, I do. But
friends of the show.
I smell a rat. Bill. We gotta bring
something's rotted in the impact zone.
We gotta bring world famous friend of the show, Daniel Spencer, into this. I don't know where he is. Hopefully he'll be in the chat soon, because
he might be out there.
He probably is. He's traveling.
Speaking of friends of the show, I know obviously she's been a guest, I know, on the UK team's show before, but recently celebrated a birthday yesterday, I believe, and that is our ring announcer, Jade.
Oh, yes.
Jade Alexander.
Yes. Yep. Yeah,
so,
that goes back.
Happy birthday.
It goes back a couple of years when the UK guys had her on for an interview. I think Trent jumped in to help get that one going. Hey, Alicia's back.
Coffee's made.
Nice.
Just as we're getting into the show, the opening knockout.
Okay, the part I'm here for.
Sorry, news ran so long. There's just so much going on in TNA land. Hey,
understandable.
I wanna ask you, because I asked Bill this. Bill's kind of on the fence about this. I think we're gonna talk to Daniel Spencer about this. Bill, if you see him tomorrow, I want you to talk to him about this. Alisha, did you see the opening match?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see the part right when Lish gets in the ring and Jordynne's got her and she grabs her hand, she does it with one of those little, twist-a-rooney things, kind of like, hey, like a power move. Lish is down on her knees like, oh, my neck. Should the match have ended there? Because I think that's tapping out. And if not, why didn't the ref end it right there?
Did the ref see it?
Yeah, she backed Jordynne off when she did that.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes because, first of all, Lish is cleared to wrestle. They made it a point to state that numerous times over the commentary.
Yeah.
So for her to be doing that neck brace shit, it's like, well, are you good to go? You shouldn't be here if you aren't, because in any other match, when someone gets injured, they back them off and do the same thing. So
yeah. I don't know. I told Bill, I said, I think that ref was paid off. Part of the system. I think something's rotten in Denmark.
Oh, you think the system's getting infective?
Oh, yeah.
I missed the last couple of weeks, so I might be out of the loop on that. I do, but some of them aren't that bright.
Yeah. We've seen enough wrestling in our lives that we know I know a crooked ref when I see one.
Yeah.
Talk about you, John, capital E period Bravo.
Oh, that guy is right down the middle.
Calls it like he sees it.
Yeah.
He certainly has moved on.
I don't know whether to say congratulations or I'm sorry.
We
Oh, God. Terrible.
Sorry. That's I'll apologize for Bill. Bill, just he likes playing that and getting Alisha all riled up. That was your first day, wasn't it? First day on the job.
First day on the job, and we got Mr. Bravo.
We need the return of Bravo.
He roasted the shit out of us that day. That was.
It's like my first ever podcast. Anything like that? I didn't know.
It's not going to be like this, is it?
That was like what, 4 or 5 years ago. I'm still fucking here, so
yeah. We decided to keep you. We decided to keep you around.
I don't know why.
But yeah, so Masha and Jordynne, they got the win here, right? I didn't.
Unsurprisingly, yes.
Okay.
Because they're a well-oiled machine now.
I was a little behind on my note taking, and I just quick jotted some stuff down here. But Lish in the neck brace, that was priceless. The wrestling in the neck brace, I just old school personified right there. Loved it. Gia Miller backstage with Savannah Evans.
Yeah,
Savannah Evans made her return last week.
Hell yeah. And she's mad.
She is. She is.
She should be.
Cannibal's coming for you.
I was gonna say they call her the cannibal. Yeah.
Like the dragon from A Song of Ice and Fire.
Oh boy. Oh. She gonna do some flaying. Jiminy Christmas.
Yes, actually.
Oh man. But yeah, so she's had enough of the waiting around, sitting watching other people do their thing. She is coming after Lay. Say it, Bill.
Say it.
What's her name?
Oh, Lei Ying Lee.
Thank you. Sorry. I was going to say something. I'll get it. The more we see her, it'll come naturally. Yes, absolutely. No DQ match next. We got Wendy Choo versus Rosemary. Loving the entrance from Rosemary. Okay. There we go. That's a classic Holy Grail shirt from last year.
You got that at the 1,000th episode, right?
Yeah.
I remember you showing me the shirt you got.
Good stuff. I just wore that the other day. I love that shirt.
That's the infamous one where Penzer's like, you couldn't come say hello? But it was separated. Like, you couldn't, like, if you were on one side, which was like how the 2300 arena was set up last night, like, you couldn't just, you had actually, if you were on the other side, you couldn't cut over. You had to actually walk all the way around because, like, I've never been in that building and seen so much production. Like, it's kind of interesting to see, obviously, how TNA does a show, obviously how Indies do a show, MLW does a show, and there's similarities, although they're big. Like TNA is bigger than MLW, which is bigger than any indie show, but the whole WWE machine, even in a building like that, is still enormous.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they're taking off like the whole wall for all the production. It's crazy.
To just renovate it.
I still don't know how I could have said hi to him when I never saw him until he was walking down the ramp for the show. I like, what do I
gotta get creative.
Access? I guess I gotta just walk in places I don't have.
Just be like, "Yay, Benzer, get over here!"
Yes,
I can't yell loud, so like I yell, and then the people around me yell louder the same thing because I have really catchy shit. So anyway,
there you go.
Anyway,
now this did have, as Critical Sting's mentioning, a no DQ billing, which he thinks was not needed
because they didn't. She used a fucking pillow. What the fuck? Like, there was nothing in the pillow. It was a pillow, not even a pillow. A pillow in a pillowcase. It was just a pillow.
Did you hear Matthew Braywald?
I did, and from my eyes,
Dramatic, Matthew.
there was nothing. She hit her with a pillow. I can't.
Pillow fight.
I fucking can't.
Okay, but Matthew Raywald made a claim during this match that
She likes to stuff things in the pillow, but she didn't stuff nothing in the goddamn pillow. It was just.
But she
pillow.
has before, right? She has before.
Not on this show.
I believe.
Matthew Raywald said one of the most controversial things I've ever heard him say on this show during this match, talking about what was possibly stuffed in the pillow.
Are you saying, what's in the pillow?
And I quit. And I quote. Jiminy Christmas.
You quit? You're out, J-Bud.
I was so shook by what he said. I can't even talk. He said
it's not just the fall of Trent, it's the fall of J-Bone.
Doorknobs and baby skulls.
Whoa.
He said doorknobs and baby skulls. And I was like,
doorknobs,
what?
I get. That's a very
that would have been cool if it was actually in the pillow.
I was like,
listen, I'm a pillow fight expert. There was nothing in that pillow. I've won many a matches in my youth. I know the drill.
I damn near spit out my drink. I was like, he did not just say that, did he? He did. So that was like,
he went there.
Mind blown, Matthew Raywald. Dear God. He said knobs. Yes. Doorknobs and
was Sags there too?
Yeah, right. Yeah, knobs and Bill.
Hitty City.
Anyway, Rosemary won, and thank God.
Well, that is the end of, I think, Wendy Choo currently.
Put her to sleep.
Bye. Next.
And I'll tell you this. Color me wrong. Because I thought they were going to be the tag team, the crossover, both lines, show up on both shows. And I didn't get that. It made too much sense.
Where's
to
that
me.
Paxton chick? She was cool.
Bring Tatum Paxley back. All right.
Okay, there we go. I didn't even say her name right. I'm such an asshole.
It's okay.
She was dope. That was like seeing a modern day Daphne. She was dope. She got cool moves. Bring her back. She was dope.
Yes, Daphne vibes all the way. Absolutely. I fully agree. Yeah, no more spooky Choo. Yeah, so.
Yeah, and also Jessica, we miss you. Please save us. Save us, Queen.
If she were to save us, it would be.
Because I'm sick.
Fuck it. Because I'm sick. Love her.
I love that. That was good stuff. And meeting them last year when that whole thing happened, when Courtney Rush came out, that was priceless. That was priceless. You will never see Courtney Rush again. Not if Rosemary can help it. Anyways, Rosemary wins. No DQ. Put her to sleep. Thank you, Wendy Choo. We'll see you again down the road.
Okay, bye.
we got a throwback match here. I'll just quick mention. This is
I think we should address probably why this was what it was.
Well, yeah,
they don't normally do this. But this is obviously replaced. They made the executive decision, obviously, not to air the tag match between the Hardys and ABC, which was a complete match. It did not be the other injury to Vikinga that we talked about, which stopped the match. This was a completed match, but obviously based on the end result of how serious that injury was, they made the right executive decision not to air that match. So obviously that's what replaced it.
Right. Yeah. So then you got to fill it, and you only got so much time to fill it with, so.
All right. So let's address this match, though. And I'm going to bring up a question that I have.
Go ahead.
Where is Mustafa Ali?
I think he's made a few indie appearances in the Chicago area.
Because I asked,
freelance wrestling. But yeah, he's not showing up on TV anywhere.
Okay. Why?
Honestly, I am not sure. Like, now, once again, you got to remember the Motor City Machine Guns were gone for a long time. So now I'm wondering, does he go back to WWE in some form? Because, like, if he was going to show up, and I don't want to say something maybe that's poor taste, but let's just say the Money Factory in Jacksonville. They just decide to throw those willy-nilly, like it's a Tuesday, it's a Wednesday, it's a Thursday. Let's just throw them out there. They don't sit on things. They just go for the big pop and go to sleep afterwards. So they're not. He ain't going there. That would be a waste of time at this point. So
okay,
I don't know. It's a great question. I think it is something to kind of like look into. Is like, why isn't he anywhere? Because he was riding a high here at TNA. That X-Division title reign lasted a long time. He was like main eventing shows around the country, and he was also doing all the indies. So did he just wear himself out? Did he go? Because he went hard for like 6 months.
Yeah,
like he was
6 months
every
straight.
weekend. Like, so does he just want the break, stay home? Maybe he's working on other stuff, not wrestling related. I'm not sure. But yeah, it is kind of surprising to see someone doing so much and then slow down. But obviously, didn't hear anything injury related or anything like that. But yeah, if he doesn't show up anywhere by the start of next year, then I really don't know. But I have a feeling he probably does show up somewhere early next year.
Yeah, he was meteoric in this TNA run. So that's why I'm asking, because
and could that be a tease? Could that be a tease?
That's what
Did they pick him because maybe he's coming back? Because he left the door open. If you remember, like they wrote him off, but he made comments like he like a kind of like a little like election thing, like, but like he kind of acted like he could return. So I feel you're right. And at least my memory of Genesis as a show, you've had some big debuts. Because wasn't it Booker T that debuted at Genesis, who was on commentary last night at NXT? So maybe that's a return. Maybe you see, or like debuts, returns, because Hard to Kill's done that as well in the past, and that this is the replacement for Hard to Kill. So maybe. But it is interesting because we used to always play with that, J-Bone. Remember during the co-stream days on Twitch where they would do throwbacks and like, does that have a meaning?
Right. Totally. Well, especially, okay, I'll say it. They played part of his entrance, which was part of the campaign, you know. Well, okay, so the national campaign just ended. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, that right there could have been a tease, like, oh, maybe he'll come back and maybe he's gonna start a new campaign, something else, something, I don't know, you know. Maybe he'll be the bitter guy, like, I didn't win. Screw you all. I'm going to come back and kick all your asses. I don't know, man. I think it'd be hilarious. Certainly could, you know, because I thought it was his return live on the show for a second. I was like, whoa. And then it said, you know, it was from date, whatever was up in the corner of the screen. And I was like, oh, this is old. So my live reaction was.
Yeah, it was from.
Is this? Well, because they played, like I said, part of the entrance thing is like the campaign looking thing, you know, on the screen. And I'm like, oh, is this a comeback promo? And then it showed him coming out. And I was like, oh, he's here. And then it just completely foobarred me. I'm like, oh, no, this is old. But yes, yeah, I think it could be a hint. We'll have to wait and see, you know.
Yeah, or it could be the old red herring. They love throwing the red herrings out there.
Well, and the final thing of everything was after his match with Santana, who had just come back. Then Hendry comes out, and was it Kaz? Yeah, Kaz comes out.
A lot of people featured in the main event scene right now.
Right.
So it still was touching on a lot of people there.
I was like, oh, there we go, serotonin. You know, I was like, serotonin's there. And then who comes out at the end is Rhino. And I'm like, oh,
Hall of
Rhino
Famer.
just went in the Hall of Fame, featured on NXT.
So once
there's
again,
all
yeah, it could
sorts of
be the
little
red
things.
herring where he happens to be there, but you have a bunch of main event players. But something to pay attention to. Obviously, if someone's available out there still and there's ties to the company, you always got to keep it in the back of your mind that they could return, because it's a possibility.
For sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Next, we get a Macklin promo. And he's saying no one can beat me. You know, he's pissed off because Josh Alexander had his cronies beat him down, and he's like, you can't beat me one-on-one. So that feud's still going. Rascals are still doing rascal things. We touched on that a little bit earlier. They're going back to the tree house. What does this mean for them? They're going to regroup. They're going to do something new. We have to wait and see. But they're kind of coming down from a lot of shit happening between TNA and NXT. They just went through a lot. So,
a lot of drama.
That's right. Oreo agrees too. Thank you, Oreo. Yes, anytime. You're welcome on the show anytime. Yes, absolutely. All right. We then go to Joe Hendry. Comes out and he calls out Ryan Nemeth, brother of Nick Nemeth, and he wants to talk about all of his career accomplishments. And I'm like, oh, we're getting a new music video. Cool. We haven't had one of those in a little bit, right? Those go viral. So he shows him that he's Nick Nemeth's brother. The end. That
was. Well, sort of in that
you
same
forgot
respect.
The Spirit Squad.
Yeah. Well, Ryan was not in the Spirit Squad.
Oh, he wasn't?
No. Just
he didn't have that to fall back on.
Nicky.
I could have sworn.
But speaking of like this segment here, we Critical Sting, we skipping over Macklin basically calling Josh D'Amore's Golden Boy. That was the backstage Macklin promo.
That was part of that. Okay, yeah.
Oh, they're going there like Degrassi. If you're from Canadian.
Oh, there you go. They are going. You gotta get the Degrassi references in there every once in a while.
There you go.
Goes there.
The drama.
So yeah, fun stuff there. Pretty funny. And then we got Santana backstage. A lot of segments here before the next match.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Santana backstage. First Class comes up, and it seems like First Class is trying to maybe recruit him.
Yeah, they're offering to help him or work with him or something.
Yeah,
I missed this segment, so talk to me like I did.
Well, they mentioned the money.
Yeah.
What money?
Yeah. So Santana's just chilling in a hallway, and he looks like he's about to just
he says he's on a mission.
He's about to get out of there. He's got his shades on. He's got his jacket on. He's got his bag. Like he's about to go wherever. What's he doing? But First Class stops him.
There's always a spot open in First Class.
Yeah. And we've talked a lot about our crew being pro First Class, just everything that AJ Francis has done, and now KC Navarro has come in, amidst the absence of Rich Swann, and how it's just been golden, in my opinion. These two
First Class or your last
meshed. They've meshed together in the ring, outside of the ring, promos. feeding off each other in promos. I mean, not everybody can do that. And that takes a certain kind of talent. And these two click. So, I don't know. If this is the next thing for Santana, obviously we know what Santana is eventually going for. He's going to go after that world title. But I think he's got to fight through some obstacles first. This may be the next one.
They're doing it the right way with him.
Yeah.
They're keeping it hot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every feud so far has been legit.
I think so. They've done Santana well. They didn't just bring him back and, okay, here's a hot comeback feud, and now we're going to tuck you back in the closet because we don't know what the fuck to do with you. No, it's been good. Yeah,
avoid the mistake of the hot shot booking.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Because you came from somewhere else and we see that so many times. All right. Knockouts time. We got Jody Threat versus Heather by Elegance. Alisha, what'd you think of this?
This was a fun match. She's in a Halloween costume.
We're a little post-Halloween, but she's
still enjoy it. Still enjoy it.
It's Halloween every day for some of us.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But
where she got her wings, though, those were cool.
I think her halo is a little broken, but
well, after this match,
yeah.
I don't think Ash by Elegance is going to feel very okay with this loss, but that's okay.
She's never okay with a loss.
Right. I was a little surprised by this. What'd you think of the finish?
I was surprised by it too. But there's got to be a reason. Obviously, there's going to be like a match between Ash and Heather. Heather Reckless, right?
Well, yeah, because they're a team now, and you got to remember though what happened previously. Ash defeated Dani in a match.
Yes.
So now Jody
I didn't watch
Heather.
the last 2 weeks,
So that's why. So now knowing that they split, so you know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
Title shot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
this will be quite the match.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I was just a little surprised at how this. I mean, on paper, if you look at the way things are going, this should have been not necessarily an easy win for Heather, but how they typically book stuff,
turning point.
Just a little surprising.
Maybe in North Carolina before that. Who knows?
Oh, Eric Isaac. I love the name of that. Reckless Elegance. That's got a ring to it. What do you think, guys?
That's cool.
Well, it's going to be Elegance. Like Elegance is the stable.
Reckless by Elegance.
Right. There you go.
Because remember, Reckless is gone.
Oh.
Well,
so she's just Heather?
She's just Heather by Elegance. And Ash by Elegance.
That's
but
a mouthful.
You gotta look at how they. How do I say this?
They'd have to become Reckless, and they'd have to become like when we seen Ash get like her
fired up,
fired up.
Right.
Some might say crazy side.
Exactly.
I would never say this. Just in time, but we're getting there. But the greatest X-Division champion of all time.
Oh, you know what?
We got to get to the main event, Jay. But
let's look at this picture right here. Let's look at this picture right here. Did anyone? No, I'm not trying to poo-poo this at all. Please don't take it as that. But I saw this on TNAWrestling.com as soon as the show ended, and I was like, "Whoa!" I don't know if I was ready. I don't know if I was ready for this.
It's so fitting.
The pants really legit.
If you don't think you're ready for that, J-Bone, look at what I just sent you. Share screen or Rooney, what I just sent you.
Oh,
our boy Basil with some other picks of our X-Division champion.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Moose, this is for you, brother. And congratulations, by the way. I gotta say that out of most love and respect, because some people calling this match of the year.
Are we on the last match already?
Yeah, it's main event.
Shit.
Yeah,
this episode flew, and I said that in the live reaction. I was like, "Whoa, we're on the main event."
Well, they gave matches like this the time they deserved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
All right. Sorry. I'm like, what are we doing? I know exactly what I'm not doing. Share screen, everybody. Look at this. Legacy. Look at this.
Yeah, he's in
that looks like
now,
a champion.
so that just legitimizes him as an X-Division
I was champion. Like, well, because we talked about that during the live reaction too. It's like, whoa. He's really changed this up. And I dig it. Like, when's
that was a place to go. Like, because obviously
that?
Never had the X-Division title. Like, but the No Limits. Get back to the No Limits X-Division.
It's true. It's true.
But you see that match that's the thing. The underrated worker that is Moose showed here. We've seen it in some other matches, kind of like where you don't see, like, you don't think it going in, but he's one of the guys that will give you those great matches, which you need in the X-Division. You don't need to be just a high flyer or a middleweight type wrestler, but you can just give those matches, and he's still like the thing he's mixes into his matches, like where he'll run up to the top turnbuckle and go off it. Like, it's
right.
Like you can mix with these wrestlers like this and obviously Speedball, like one of the best in the business right now. But and we'll get in, because there's a lot of obviously there's some end results for this match, how that all plays out. We saw the end of a tag team as well tonight.
Yeah, I did not see this coming. A lot of other people saw this coming, but I was still, well, for lack of a better word, shook from the win, because there were so many close finishes that, Moose almost wins, Speedball almost wins.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this can go either way.
Yeah, we got it. I think it got at least halfway through, maybe 2/3, where it's like some of the false finishes. I'm like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The X-Division title. It's coming home to Moose Nation.
Listen, the biggest Moose guy on the podcast right here. It's how big did you pop when you were there, Bill?
Oh, I think I jumped out of my seat. I was up there. I was like, yes. And then it was just finding everyone in the crowd I knew. It's like, look, I'm pointing. I was pointing everywhere.
Right.
Oh, we acknowledge the grand title around here, Critical Stink.
Oh, absolutely.
We always acknowledge a grand title. So yeah, he's got he's now. Here's the question for the chat, and if you're listening or watching later, option C. Does this reign of Moose end with option C? I know we're kind of going down, because I do want to see him in a lot of X-Division matches. It'll be interesting to see, are they 1-on-1 or the old traditional 3-person X-Division style matches does he get involved in? So I'm looking forward to this run. Very excited by this. I think it's a great pivot from his main event world title run to, like, instead of like putting it like in a back burner type role or tagging with the system here and there, give him that focus. Like we were just talking about Ali earlier. Give him an Ali style X-Division run.
Yeah.
Rule that division.
Keep the momentum
with
going,
an iron fist.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and you got to mention names that in the past that, you know, were big guys in the division. You talk about No Limits. Think of guys like Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe.
You know, among others. And
I believe Abyss won the X Division title.
Was it? Did he really?
I believe he won it early on. Like not early on, but a handful of years in, he even
somewhere,
had it for a stint.
And he's done everything too.
Obviously, Cage had it.
Oh,
just
Cage was
Brian Cage.
Yeah, I actually loved that run, and I'll say this about Brian Cage. He hasn't, throughout history and other companies, hasn't always been booked great. But I'll say this. When he was in TNA sent him everywhere, all over the world, to defend that title. And I loved it. You know, he'd go over to Japan and fight. You're going to have to pardon my, you know, senility. I don't remember who he fought in Japan. But he beat people in Japan. He beat people in Europe, and come back beat people in the U.S. of A. and crazy. And then he went on to be world champion.
That's right.
So I mean, Moose at points in his career has been completely unstoppable. This could be a whole new revitalization in his career. Rip through the X Division. And then cash it in. When? I don't know. But that's typically been like a Bound for Glory thing. I don't know if you hold it that long, you know? And I know I'm going to get it from Moose here. Of course I can hold it that long. Of course. But
of course. No, it decides when he wants to. But it all depends on the timing. Because if we think we're going to see a Joe run, and if Joe's run, like, hey, if he's destined to be here through like Slammiversary next year, so he has that run sometime between Genesis and Slammiversary as world champion, could Option C Moose be the guy to dethrone him and send him over to NXT full time?
Oh,
maybe.
Interesting. Maybe.
Or does Eddie Edwards beat
Nick
Nemeth, and then Moose turns on Eddie Edwards?
Oh, turn on the system?
Oh,
you're not talking system error.
You want to talk about a shakeup?
You don't speak that on the TNI show. There's no cracks in the system.
Got
the X Division champion. This is the X Division champion's night, J-Bone.
I know.
That you even dare ponder such things.
But Moose is bigger than that.
Well, he's got his eyes on the prize, and he has the prize. And remember, that's an automatic cash-in for a world title shot.
It is.
He knows that. He's going to sit on that. He ain't going to waste that opportunity. If anyone's going to use an option C, it's Moose. It's just when does he do it?
Timing. Like you said, I think the future's wide open for Moose. I think anything's possible. I'm excited about it. I'm still shocked. It's like, wow, you know, it's been a while since we had something like this.
Yes.
So it's definitely going to turn some heads.
One of the biggest men on the roster is now the No Limits X Division champion. Love it.
Let's Mayor. Jeez, Jiminy Christmas. Let's talk about what happens at the end of this match. Moose wins. X Division title.
No shenanigans, clean win.
Yes. No system.
Yeah, no
right
system.
There.
And that was the thing from the get-go, the entrance. It really wasn't Moose solo. A very solo mindset, going after the belt. Like no system distractions at all.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good guy Moose.
Wait, what? But yeah. So Moose,
because I like scumbags.
He does. You damn Skippy, he does. Moose wins. He's got the title. Mike Bailey can barely stand. Barely stand. He's taken what,
At this
five, six, yeah, right. 5 or 6 moose spears throughout the match. Jiminy Christmas. You're bleeding internally, at least at this point. And Moose is walking up the ramp. Who comes down the ramp? Trent Seven.
Man.
Yeah. One half of the former, what was that? Mustache Mountain? Is that?
Yes, Mustache.
Speedball Mountain.
Terrible.
A small Speedball Mountain. I'm
He
thinking
is Mustache Mountain, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is, yeah.
I first saw him in Chikara years ago with the 3-person Mustache Mountain.
Oh, that's classic. So he comes down to the ring, and he's consoling Mike Bailey. He's giving him a hug, raising his hand, like, hey, come on, it's Mike Bailey. Let's give him a round of applause here.
Give him a hand. Give the boy a hand.
He definitely did.
And I'll be honest, I didn't see this coming. I thought this was going to be, he raises his hand, gives him a hug, cut the credits. Like, okay, little positive at the end of the show.
You see the silver lining in everyone, J-Bone.
I
That's
tried.
positive.
I tried. And obviously, Oreo does not. That's why she's screaming in the next room. So my apologies if you guys can hear that. So, and then she goes, hey, Trent Seven behind Speedball, drops down, low blows him from behind, cripples him some more. Unbelievable.
Are you saying he went 5-hole on Speedball?
So
I'm saying Speedball is going to be walking funny for the next week. He's going to need Veda Scott to.
And that thought.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to get weird with that. I'm just saying to help.
No, you were going to get weird with it.
No. I do.
Well, we just know we know one thing anymore. They're not friends.
I thought we were friends.
Yeah, not friends.
What was the reason that? Like, I mean,
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, it's time to split them up, whatever. But I just don't get it because what is it? What was in that particular action for Trent? You know what I'm saying?
Trent's been missing he came back during the gauntlet, but why didn't we see him this whole time? Is our backstory? Did Speedball leave him behind when he became X-Division champion? Was he too big for Speedball Mountain?
Well, obviously, because so does this mean that they're starting a rivalry with each other?
I believe so.
Or is Trent going to go after Moose?
Well, he didn't bother Moose. He just bothered Speedball.
Yeah, well, a good way to kick a man when he's down.
I think this is we're gonna find out why next.
Obviously. I'm just putting the cart before the horse, bro.
Right. And I think this is also an easy way to take Speedball out of the. Well, he gets a rematch, right? No, he's got bigger fish to fry now, in a sense, with this friendship, So we've seen enough of that with the Rascals. Now we're gonna switch it over to Speedball Mountain. It's like, oh no, another one. When is it gonna end?
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to this whenever Speedball's okay to walk again.
He might be able to. They'll have to have some type of stipulation in their match when they go at it.
Ooh. If Speedball loses, he has to wear boots. If Trent Seven loses, he has to shave his mustache and beard?
I don't know. We had Falaba start wearing boots, and then we never saw him again. So you got to be careful about putting shoes on shoeless wrestlers.
Oh, God, I miss Falaba. He was great. If you know,
he's still
you know.
doing his thing.
Oh, yeah, he's still doing his thing.
On the East Coast?
Oh, yeah, he's still a Wrestle Pro stalwart.
Yeah, still on the East Coast, but he goes to Alaska a lot, too.
Really?
Yeah, the Wrestle Pro goes to Alaska every year.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, the last time I heard of Wrestle Pro is when everyone went there and came back sick.
Oh, yeah, there was that time. Yeah, that was a time where, the travel, like, obviously, we lived through that era. And you got anybody, like one person sick, they're going to get everybody.
The whole planet was bombed. Yeah. Horrible. Anyways, but yeah, hell of a finish to this episode. Poor Speedball loses the title and then loses
definitely. I know there's been some debate in the chat. Is it the TNA match of the year? I think it's definitely the television match of the year. I'll debate it might be the match of the year because I know people are saying they're obviously at Slammiversary, Ali, Speedball. You could definitely go with that. That's a contender, but this is right up there. This isn't match of the year. This definitely should be voted on as one of the matches of the year, but definitely the TV match of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Oreo agrees too. She says, "Hey, you better put my opinion in there too."
Show respect to your X-Division champion.
Put some goddamn respect on it.
I do. I am shocked, but wow. Moose is your X-Division champion. People, I'll say this and then we'll wrap things up. You knew, Bill.
I knew.
You
I had
knew.
a feeling.
What is that? What?
Oh, that's his
man.
His Moose.
That's a great shirt.
That is a great shirt. Yeah, I'm very excited to see where this goes. This really does. I'll say this, just when things are like, okay, you got this feud over here, you got this feud over here, and then this happens on TV, this happens on TV. People in the chat are like, wow, this happened on TV. This didn't happen at a pay-per-view. And I'm like, you got to do this on TV once in a while. You got to remind people. It's like, don't just tune in for like the big shows and the pay-per-views and skip a bunch of TV. No, you miss moments like
they'll put them on anywhere. They'll do them on obviously the big fours. They'll do them on plus specials. They'll do them on TV. And now you're going to have the new wrinkle of the live weekly shows, possibly a handful of times next year. So definitely pay attention, because whenever you see TNA running, you might have a title change. If it's on TV or a live or taped show. So stay tuned.
Yeah,
watch out, because
you never know.
Can watch history.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the show, man. Lots happening. This turning point is really turning into something,
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Amazing episode, coming out of Bound for Glory. Sometimes you come out of a big pay-per-view and nothing happens for a bit. I mean, not that nothing happens, but it's, it just kind of rides a wave of, all right, we got this, and then we're going to build up to the next show, and then all of a sudden, boom, you get hit with something like this. It's refreshing. I'll say that. So congrats to TNA for doing this, honestly. But yeah, and if you're watching this after the fact, please leave your comments in the chat. What'd you think of this? The Moose win, the turn on Speedball from Trent Seven, lots of stuff happening in the Knockouts division and everything. Put it in the chat. Let us know. So glad we could get the whole crew here. Thank you, chat, for keeping the chat going and giving us your thoughts on everything happening with TNA. And on your way out, you know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications so that you know when more of our stuff hits your screen. Please check out the links in the description of the video. Once again, Chris Bay needs your help, and he needs stuff to help protect his future. So please consider
Donate if
help.
you can.
Donate if you can, or share the link. You know, it's the least we can do because he's given us so much. Lots of things coming up, not just the GoFundMe in the description of the video. So keep an eye out for that. Check out the links for audio and other stuff, merch in the description, and Manscaped. Almost forgot. Bill, please mention what we were talking about before.
Yes, and obviously for anyone that donates to Chris Bay with the GoFundMe, if you already have or if you want to, since I'll be in North Carolina, I am donating to anyone that's really that donates to Chris Bay, either the highest bidder or just a random chance, depending on people that could make it to Chicago for MLW, the Lucha Apocalypto, front row seat. So I'll give you my seat right there, front row on the aisle. So you can have a good time this Saturday in the Chicago area if you can make it. So let me know, let the TNI show know. And definitely, if there's multiple people, I'll definitely award that publicly to somebody. But yeah, let us know. And like I said, I don't want anything. Donate it to Chris Bay. If you want us to do it through the show, if you feel better doing it that way, we can do that too. Either way is fine by me. But yeah, no, little thing we can do to help. And like I said, hopefully we got to get the details. We can do one of our charity fundraisers, maybe near the end of the month for Turning Point or something else, where we then obviously take super chats and bits and everything, and then donate that all to the GoFundMe after the show. Oh, we got a muted J-Bone.
Sorry. Thank you so much, Bill. That's incredibly generous of you. So yeah, hit us up or hit up Bill on social media and let him know. So, but yeah, that's it. Much love, everyone. We'll see you down the road. Smash that like button. We'll see you in the next episode.